Well, good. Tell us about some of the rewards. What were some of the things you liked best about it?
I love teaching. I love working with children. I would go to the door every morning and open the door, and in come these smiling faces, and you're smiling right back at them. I think there are times when you have a child that is struggling with a concept,
Hmm.
and if he's struggling with that concept and he finally grasps it, there's that aha moment.
Yeah.
And that is really exciting, not only for the student, but for you also. And when that aha moment occurs for a student, it also occurs for the teacher. I mean, you are just excited sometimes as the child themselves.
Yeah.
Um, I think teaching is a challenge because a challenge and beneficial because you're always struggling to make your classroom environment better for learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think if you could come up with different ideas, I think I was constantly struggling to come up with better ideas, and that I loved my summers because I could go back to school and pick up a course maybe that I was having difficulty in, like a language class perhaps, or an English grammar class,
Uh-huh.
was extremely helpful for me in third grade. Um, I was able to come up with a class there that really benefited the students. They had fun with it. I enjoyed it. It was a great way to teach. So a lot of times people say about teachers, well, you have the whole summer. Well, my summer was spent in the classroom.
Is
The
that right?
majority of
Yeah.
it was. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it benefited me and I enjoyed it.
When you say in the classroom, you as a student learning more about teaching, or were you teaching in the summer as well?
I was teaching I was learning in the summer because I would take classes in the summer myself.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Students were out enjoying the summer vacation, I hope.
Yeah.
But I would go back to school and I took many classes in the summer.
Yeah.
Um, Mainly things that would benefit me in the classroom, and oftentimes things I could share with others.
Yeah.
The grammar class that I took was phenomenal, and
I'll
numerous
bet.
teachers in my building later took it because I had raved about how great it had been.
Right.
Um,
Grammar is so important because that's how people communicate, and that's how people. That's the first impression a potential employer gets of an employee or a potential employee, is they perceive how intelligent they are basically by their command of the English language.
Absolutely.
Well, great. How would you sum up?
Well, if you want to teach, you have that dedication, and I think that once you're in a classroom with students and you're working with them, you realize right away if this is something you want to do for a lifetime. I think many teachers are uncomfortable with the grade level, and I think that people need to kind of feel that out a little bit.
Right.
I love first grade, but I don't know if I could have continued with first grade all the years that I taught because you're on your feet constantly, things of that nature. You're like with third graders, they're a
Uh-huh.
little more independent, so you have a little more flexibility in the classroom. If you want to teach, you should go for it. And one of the things I found is that first year teachers have a lot of issues that they have to work out for themselves or by themselves. And you need to give it at least a couple of years before you make a decision as to whether or not you want to teach.
Yeah, I think that probably applies to any profession. There's no substitute for experience. I know my first couple of years in medicine were kind of iffy. I struggled with speed and struggled with some of the concepts, but once I picked them up, it made a world of difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And
teaching's the
staying
same
in
way.
one building is helpful if
Yeah,
you can do that. A lot of times new teachers are moved around a bit, but those are challenges, and that's okay. Everywhere we went, though, I had to start out subbing.
Oh,
And
I see. Okay.
if you, like in Phoenix, when I was in Phoenix, I started out subbing, and the principal asked me if I'd be interested in taking an art class for first through K, or first through sixth grade.
Right.
And I decided that would be interesting because I like art. So I did that and ended up doing that for the rest of the year. And then he hired me the following year as a second grade teacher.
Okay.
So those things happen.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the challenges you faced as a teacher.
You know, the challenges are many to teaching, but I think you kind of go with the flow, like any job, I suppose. Challenges are oftentimes you have students in your classroom that are going to be not necessarily difficult, but challenging. And it doesn't matter whether you're in upper class school or some of your schools are going to be more challenging than others. And
Yeah.
depending on the locale, I suppose that's part of it. Um, Teaching children with second languages are sometimes
Mm-hmm.
challenging because if you don't speak their language, then it's difficult to communicate sometimes.
Right.
Um, and several of the schools where I taught, I ran into that problem,
Uh-huh.
which was not bad because it's just a challenge for you, and you figure out a way to work with those children. And if you have to go to someone else in the building and say, "This is the struggle I'm having. Can you help me out?" Most teachers are willing to do that. They're willing to share. So,
Yeah.
I think you can't hesitate to go for help
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
need it.